The more that you read, the more things you will know. The more you learn, the more places you'll go. With this insightful quote, I, Ridhima, wish you a very good afternoon and extend a warm welcome to our dignitaries and to our esteemed guest of the day, Mr. Kevin Missal and Miss Kiran Missal, and everyone present here. We are honored to have you amongst us, sir and ma'am. Kevin Missal, one of the youngest mythological and fantasy authors, made his mark in the literary world with his debut book at the age of 14. His book was released by Sheila Dikshit, the then Chief Minister of Delhi. Translated into 6 different languages, he has written 15 best-selling novels which include the Narasimha trilogy. Some of his works have also been turned into audiobooks. His amiable personality, witty sense of humor, and sharp thinking made him one of the most loved authors. He was regarded as a mythological phenomenon by The Hindu. Owing to the success of his book, with his diverse interest and prolific writing, he strives to pave his way ahead with many more books to write in future. As he embraces and wears multiple hats by being an author, TEDx speaker, and CEO of Hub. Now, I would like to request Principal Ma'am Sanbeam Bhagwanpur, Ms. Prerna Sharma, and other dignitaries to come forward to welcome our esteemed guest with a token of love and gratitude. We also request Ms. Kiran Missal to kindly come up to accept our token of love. In an interview with the New Indian Express, Mr. Kevin had said, "Criticism made me want to write more." So, to know more about what drove Sir to writing and become a known personality among the readers, I would like to invite Shreyansh and Gopal to the stage for an interview with Mr. Kevin Missal.
Very, very happy and to be here. Just wanted to say thanks to the entire faculty and to Sunbeam as being an amazing host and one of the best experiences I've ever had when it comes to going for school talks and everything. So yeah.
Thank you so much, sir. And sir, the honor is all ours. That's not enough. What we wish to do here is connect with you on a much deeper scale. Albeit we know you're a best-selling author, what we wish to know is the journey of your first book. What we wish to know is your experiences with publishers and so many other things. So, sir, to get this interview on a strong start, let's begin with the first question.
I feel I'm part of Arnab Goswami. Sir! The great, wonderful. Yeah.
So, sir, it's often stated that reading a good book is like a journey no another. So, it is safe to assume that writing would be a much more exciting journey. So, how was your journey writing your first book at such a young age?
My journey has always been very, very frustrating. What are you laughing about? It has been frustrating. Definitely, it has been frustrating because, as a young writer, you're not trusted much. When I wrote my first book, I remember people thought that I had copied. Because उस age में कोई नहीं कितना ही लिख पाता है. So that was what I got used to get reviews of. And then once I published the book also, people were not taking me seriously because grammatically incorrect hai, story is not that good, it's a copy paste. So it's been a frustrating journey definitely, nonetheless. And it's been, but at the same time, it's been also very enlightening because through that frustration, I've been able to come up with different kinds of learnings of mine. Like for instance, to not give up is one of the biggest learnings I have had as a writer, and perseverance is another one. And that's what I try to also contribute whenever I'm even working, as a team leader as well for my company. My objective is to obviously make sure that everyone from my team realizes that, a lot of people, they get thoda narash type, ki yaar kyun ho gaya, ye ho gaya. I mean, don't give up. Keep at it. And I think that's what it is. I didn't give up on myself and I tell other people to not give up. So yeah.
Beautiful. And sir, one more question. We are curious to know how did you manage to fulfill your duties being a class 9 student and also publishing a best-selling novel?
I did. So summer holidays. I'm sure you guys have summer holidays. So what do you guys do in summer holidays? Like, what do you do? I would love to know.
I would rather not say. It's not very distinguished.
It's very, no, but still, it's fine. You can.
I have a special spot on my sofa where
Huh?
putting pillows
Acha,
in
okay.
just the right configuration enables a very comfortable position.
I see.
And I usually just lay there.
You just stay there, right? And what about you?
Completing the summer vacation homeworks?
Oh my God. So I used to do none of those. So I took out time during my summer holidays. वह 2 महीने की छुट्टी होती थी हमारी 2-2.5 महीने की and I wrote my books that time. So during summer holidays I finished my books because obviously during my school days and everything it's very tough. You know, आओ फिर घर पे पढ़ाई करो, homeworks करो, फिर वापस जाओ सुबह पढ़ाई करो, पूरे दिन पढ़ाई करते रहो. So summer holidays were one of the times. So that time I wrote a book and I still remember that a lot of people were very excited and very surprised. कि यार ये summer holidays में people are chilling and this guy is working. So but that was my chill. That was my fun. That's what you know. I'm actually I get very excited when I say that I'm a writer, because you know I'm actually doing what I love. And when you're doing what you love, you end up not feeling it like a job. You know, you don't feel it like it's some boring 9 to 5 job. You know, it is something which you are passionate towards making a difference. So yeah.
Okay, sir. And I myself am 14-year-old, and if I went home and told my mother that I want to publish a novel, she would push me into a stack of books 5 feet tall and ask me to study it in 6 different languages. So how did your mother react when you told her that I want to publish a novel?
No, I think they were very supportive. I think they were very nice, they were like कि बच्चा कुछ करना चाहता है, but then also they were very supportive because I was not good at anything else. So they realized that I was not good at studies. They realized I was not good at sports. They realized I was not good at music. So like ये कोई भी अच्छा नहीं है, किताब कुछ तो लिख रहा है, कुछ constructive कर रहा है, nothing destructive. So they thought कि you know what, might as well just push him towards that. So that's why the support came. And nonetheless, that support turned into passion, and then that passion turned into an obsession when my parents were like more excited about me writing more books than myself. And now तो they are like, अगर मैं घर पे खाली घूम रहा होता हूँ, जो बोल रहा है spot, I lie on my spot and also chill. My mom is like, किताब शिताब नहीं लिखनी क्या तेरे को? So that is what I get. That is what I also get. So yeah, but I'm glad that has happened. That progression has happened in my life.
That's amazing, sir. Sir, actually, of all the book genres out there, arguably, to write mythological fiction seems to be the most challenging. In pure fiction or fantasy, you have the freedom to construct your universe however you may desire. And in non-fiction, you have the reliability of cold, hard facts as you write. But in mythological fiction specifically, you have to adhere to mythological fact as you write, while also constructing your own universe. So what inspired you to write in this genre particularly?
Primarily because it deals with a lot of history, culture, tradition, and it is difficult definitely, but if you come out with respect and you come with a lot of love towards the particular literature that you're writing about, then I don't think so it becomes a huge problem. You know, so that's what I practice in my books.
Answer Hubhawks, your company, and it truly seems to be one of a kind, providing great service to authors worldwide. So, what was the main motto and main goal in your mind when you started this service, Hubhawks?
When I started my literary journey, so obviously because I've seen my literary journey, I've gone through multiple, from the age of 14 till now, I've gone through a lot of problems, seen a lot of gaps. So one of the major reasons why I wanted to start it was because, you know, हमारे industry में, the publishing industry में, there's not a credible, trustworthy, you know, I would say trustworthy brand out there. And I wanted to build that credibility into the market. And that was one of the reasons why I started Hubbox as well as my own publishing house. Because with publishing also, you only have the top big publishers, which is Penguin, Harper, and all the big ones, which I'm published with also, fortunately. But you don't have, but there are medium-sized publishers who can be very, very, I would say, not, you're not credible enough. So you have to, for a young writer, if you want to write a book, you might fall prey to their bad tactics. So that is where we come in, because we want to be that trustworthy brand into the market where, and we can see the difference. Now authors are like, initially, obviously we had opposition, and now I've seen authors coming to us themselves and asking us, ki, please humko हमारी book publish करवा दो. Please, like, give us your services and everything. Because, the thing is, when you're providing good service with trust, with credibility, with a good brand value in the picture, then definitely you are able to make a difference.
Okay, so means Hubbox is acting like a boon for the budding authors. And so we are curious to know how
And bane for my personal life.
and sir, how did the name for this service Hubbox came to be?
The name Hubbox? यार GoDaddy पे ना domain नहीं मिल रहा था. So it's a very honest story. And I was trying, I remember I had another name for it. I was trying to call it Aladdin. So because it was so we were like genies for writers. So the idea was that. Thank God I didn't do that, because because I ended up writing Sinbad then. But Aladdin, Hubbox was started because there's a hub of hawks. So hawks by nature are, they have 8x vision. So we kind of went like that. We are a hub of hawks, our team basically, which is 8x vision for your books. So that was the idea.
Yes, sir. And sir, it has been 13 years since you published your first book, and you mentioned your journey, how frustrating it was. So in the past 13 years, you have delivered a fine assortment of best-selling books. So how do you think in these past 13 years, you, by your extension to the approach to writing, has changed gradually?
I have become more disciplined, and I have become more professional with my writing. I have become more structured also. I think what happens with writing is that it's a skill. I feel that anyone can be a writer today. And I think if they have the perseverance, the grit, and the passion for it, definitely anyone can be a writer. You don't need to have some कि कोई किसी ने तुमको वरदान दिया है कि अब तुम writer बनोगे types. Anyone can be a writer as long as they have the passion for it and the love for it, of course. So that's what I think, yeah. And that's where the structure came into the picture, and because I kept writing to a point where I got so much better in it that, yeah.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much, sir. Sir, there are many young authors today, here and everywhere else, that seeing you and reading about your journey and reading your wonderful books will be inspired to follow this path and write their books. Who were those authors for you, sir, who inspired you to pursue your passion?
Brandon Sanderson is one of them. I don't know how many of you have read Brandon Sanderson. Raise hands if you have. Have you heard of his name? Brandon? You should definitely. If you want to learn writing, definitely he has great YouTube classes. Percy Jackson, Rick Riordan. Rick Riordan is one of them. I'm sure there must be fans here. Raise hands if you are Percy Jackson fans. Okay, few of them. Harry Potter? थोड़े से और हाथ हो गए अच्छा.
Percy Jackson is better than Harry Potter. Facts.
By the wrong person.
And what about you? You're into Harry Potter? Huh? Not really? You're into mathematics?
Yeah.
And physics?
Yeah.
Okay, great. Wonderful.
Sir, have you ever felt, looking back on your work, that the work of the writers you idolized, you loved, have bled into yours? That when you read your books again, the same patterns you used to love as a kid are now re-emerging in a different form?
No, definitely. I think we all as writers learn from other writers. I have the same sense of adventure from the Rick Riordan books. I have the same sense of mystery that I try to hold from the Harry Potter books. And I, somewhere or the other, I do take inspiration from them. Definitely the writing style is different. Definitely the story is different. But there's always a sense of kind of like a, so like for instance, Sinbad series of mine, which you guys can see there. I've literally written in my dedication a love letter to Rick Riordan. So yeah, so definitely because it is kind of like because he made my childhood when I was growing up reading Percy Jackson. I can't read it now because when I try to read it now, Percy Jackson मेरे को पल्ले नहीं पड़ती अब. But not. But definitely he helped me grow up and learn and love mythology. It was Greek mythology, no doubt, but it was mythology nonetheless, and I fell in love with mythology, surely.
So the greatest fear of the author is said to be the content-cutting pen of the publishers. Something which I, even in this reduced form, have experienced with as my ma'am brutally edited a few of my questions for this interview today.
I am very excited for the unedited version.
Sir, what were your experiences with publishers like?
So there was a what have been my experience with publishers? I'm facing right now with one. I don't want to name a publisher. So we are fighting over a book cover, and it's not a content cutting because mostly my content, because once you have written so many books, you kind of you nail it with your content, so you know what you want to do. But definitely it becomes a huge issue when it comes to book covers and everything. They have a huge fight between, aisa hona chahiye cover, aisa hona chahiye book cover, and oh my god. We still have not reached a solution. So now we are fighting with the designer now. So, but I tried my hand and burnt it in Bollywood. I worked with few scripts and everything. वहाँ पर काफी content cutting होता है. And it's been a brutal challenge because I hate it. Because I feel that once I've written something, I feel that that's it's pretty good. Though obviously one should keep reading again and again, but definitely keep writing, keep rewriting. That's very important. Rewriting is writing, I feel personally, but not faced it in publishing till now. I'm glad because publishers have that trust in me. But I would love to hear your unedited version.
Okay, sir. Sir, moving forward, another...
नहीं देखना चाहिए.
No, it is very dangerous.
Sir, another common struggle for authors is choosing an appropriate title.
ये lag क्यों है हंसते में? Is the lag is the voice reaches there later?
By a very small quantity, yes.
Oh.
As the speed of sound is not infinite.
Okay.
Science students.
So you guys are science students?
Yes, sir. PMC.
What are you?
I'm in class 10th.
The science student is by mindset, never by class.
Okay, I admit it. Then I'm a science student.
Yeah, okay, great.
And so even as, albeit I've never been an author, even when I do write a story, I always don't write names. I keep closed brackets and keep roles inside of there because I can't decide what to call the character. Yeah. It must be so much more tough to give names to the title, the entire title of your book. So what's your experience been with that?
With titles, I think it's been always very easy because I just take the name of the character and put it up on the book. So it's been pretty easy. But since as a publisher it becomes tough because as a publisher I'm dealing with very varied kind of books, and often the title that the author gives is really bad. So we need to work on the title. So there's a lot of brainstorming involved, and then we try to find what is working, what is not. We also go so titles, just to give you guys an idea, book titles, and for someone who wants to be a writer also can definitely check out is you should also look at what on Google the keywords are doing well. So like which keywords are doing well, based on those keywords come out with titles. Because for instance, if let's take a keyword like an apple is doing really well, and if your book is called Of All Men and Apples, I don't know. If they type apples, they'll end up finding your book as well on the Google search. So it's a faster way of searching. Discoverability of your book becomes faster. Whereas if you just choose a title according to yourself, what if the title is not searched properly? We don't know. So like for instance, my books for instance are called Durga, Kalki, Narsimha. They're all very easily searchable terms on Google. Like if someone wants to just read about, just learn about Narsingh Avatar, and you're not looking for the book, but you just want to learn about Narsingh Avatar on Google, all of a sudden my book pops up, right? And they're like, oh, there's a book out there, So touch wood, frankly, I have not been. I've been very blessed because I didn't think of these things earlier. But now, when I sit with the team and I understand, I realize that these technical things, they matter a lot because we live in a digital age. So these technicalities matter a lot. So if anyone wants to look out for a title, look at it from a perspective that whether it's easily searchable or not on internet.
That's an amazing hack. Now, sir, onto a question of retrospect. You mentioned that.
Question of what?
Onto a question of retrospect. Sir, you mentioned that on that day when you were a class 9 student, when you went home in the summer holidays, you had the idea for a book and you sat down to write it. What if you would have chosen MySpace on the couch instead? What if your parents may not have approved so readily? Sir, it's a very hard question, yes, but where do you think you would have been right now if you wouldn't have become a best-selling author? If you wouldn't have published that first book at age 14?
Probably homeless and jobless. Because as I said, I'm not good at anything else. I was only good at one thing, which is writing, and that's what I did best. So yeah. But though but then I found my alternate career as well, which is running a publishing house and running my own company. I think that's been a wonderful experience, and I think I realized that that's my calling as well. That's my second calling, I would say. Yeah.
Sir, you are an inspiration to all children, students, everywhere. Now, every child who has that idea of plot nudging him in his mind to write it down can realize that age is not a barrier. So, and he can also become an amazing writer and an amazing author. So, what advice would you give to all the budding authors to not let the spark of writing die?
Advice you're saying? What advice would you give? How many readers here? Readers. Few of them. Okay, so some of them. Okay, great. So I would say if you want to, so advice to younger writers or readers? Writers. I would say that, how many want to be writers eventually down the road? Okay, so the 3 hands together. And 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. थोड़ा हाथ धीरे-धीरे कर रहे हैं. वो एक बाल बना रहा है अपने. Okay. So I think around 8, 9 writers are there. And anyone who wants to still figuring out, still thinking that writing is a good thing or not. One advice I would love to give is definitely to keep trying, to keep jotting something down on the paper. The idea is not to write a best-selling novel, but the idea is to write something, and keep writing, and definitely keep reading, because reading is something like you're sharpening your mind to write. So that's the 2 advices I would like to give.
Yeah, understood, sir. And you mentioned you wish to know the unedited version of our script. So one of our questions, which is the first question, that how did you manage to get your book published by the then Chief Minister of Delhi?
हाँ तो उसमें unedited क्यों किया? अच्छी बात है. My dad played a huge role in it. Dad की pouch is the but my dad was a big support system, and he pulled some strings, figured it out, and got it done.
Understood, sir. So, sir, this was an incredibly illuminating segment of our conversation with you, and to hear your thoughts and experiences was truly a memorable event. But now, sir, we move on to another segment. Authors usually have months and months to solidify their thoughts and write their books. But in this segment, we won't give you that luxury for the answering of the questions. You must answer instantly with the first thing that comes to your mind.
So, Kevin sir, let us begin with the rapid fire segment of our interview. The first question. Sir, what is the thing you love to do?
अरे तो रुक जाना भाई, तू क्यों इतनी जल्दी हो रहा है? मुझे जल्दी आंसर करना है. तेरे को जल्दी नहीं बोलना. Okay, so let me prepare myself. Who's gonna ask? He's gonna ask. You're gonna ask. Both are gonna ask. Okay. So I have to turn also. Okay. Great. Okay, start.
Okay, sir. The first question for you here
Where's
today.
my coffee hamper?
I can have it brought to you.
Yeah, I need to have a coffee hamper. If I give good answers, you guys will be responsible for that. Okay.
Okay,
Great.
sir. For the first question we have, sir. What is the thing you love to do when you want inspiration to write more?
What is the thing that I love to do?
When you want inspiration to write more.
Acha, what is the thing that I do to have more inspiration? Read books.
Oh, okay.
So your one guilty pleasure.
तू क्यों what was that? What was that accent you just made? Huh? Guilty pleasure. Huh? What is that? Uh, I would say having watching. I used to watch a lot of Gossip Girl. So yeah, that's a guilty pleasure, right? Yeah.
Sir, out of all the books you've written, which one is your favorite?
Kanna.
That was a very quick answer.
Okay, so what was the worst comment you've ever overheard about yourself?
That I am a worst comment I have
Yeah.
overheard.
Yeah.
That I am a very that I bought my own books to show myself as a bestseller.
Oh.
Yeah, that I bought 50,000 copies of my books. I said इतना पैसा होता है मैं राइटर नहीं बनता. ये lag क्या है? ये I don't understand. I'm very curious. Like there's a laugh and then there's a laugh.
Lag needs to be fixed.
Sir, how do you feel sharing a surname with the famous Bombay street food Missal Pav?
I don't feel good at all. We often have conversations with each other. They say he's more famous than me. So my entire life's take is now that I want to make myself more popular than a street food.
Missal
That's
Pav.
the idea.
What is that one melody that just gets stuck in your head?
Rapid fire, sorry.
Instant answer.
वो गाना है ना यार एक वो तुम्हारा जो फेवरेट है वो छू कर तेरे दिल को Hey, you said melody.
Okay, accepted.
Okay, sir.
Yeah.
So, what's that mildly infuriating thing that's normal for everyone else but just gets on your nerves?
Very bad. I have a very bad habit. I get really angry when I am in a hotel or probably in a restaurant or whatever, and the hospitality is bad. So I'm like you have one thing to do. You're literally part of the hospitality industry, and that is one thing you're bad at. So that is one thing that really, and my wife, she gets really, she's like, why do you get so, why? Because I'm very patient otherwise. This one thing that just gets on my nerve is that if someone has not wiped the plates, or probably the glasses are bad, I don't know, something, spoon nahi mila, fork nahi mila. I mean, these are very basic things, right? So that's one thing I get really annoyed with. And I am also very hospitable by nature as well, because I now have a restaurant as well. So yeah, in Gurgaon only, so it becomes a huge problem. So I understand where they come from, but definitely we still manage to have a good hospitality.
Okay, so the next question is, what is an irrational fear of yours?
Irrational fear.
Irrational.
I would say I'm scared of frogs.
Scared of? I'm sorry?
Frogs.
Frogs.
He just went into disbelief.
Sir, I am scared of small insects. You've got one over me.
Which insect?
Any insect smaller than like this.
Acha, okay. That's great. So I'm scared of frogs, yeah.
Okay.
No, actually, I'm not scared of it. I just find it very disgusting.
Disgusting sound.
They're very slimy and they have these big eyes and they're just gonna like. I just can't. Yeah.
Thank you so much, sir, for being an absolutely amazing sport here today.
Great. Do you want to do a Q&A with the audience? If there's any
Sir, we
question?
will just now. Sir, actually, unbeknownst to you, me and him have been holding back the audience from the moment you sat down here. Because the moment you set foot in Sunbeam Bhagwanpur, they wanted to ask you questions.
Okay.
So, sir, we'll have to begin the audience Q&A with the representatives of the Sunbeam College for Women Literary Club. Over to you.
So they'll be asking me questions?
Yeah, they'll be asking you questions.
So you'll be guiding which one who answers questions? And
They are in front of you.
Yes, they're right there.
okay.
First of all, Sir Jai Hind, and welcome to the Sunbeam Premises. My very first question to you is that as per the trends of the Indian market, we have observed that the books that are bestsellers in India generally relate to an emotion that Indians connect to. For example, we have Amish Tripathi's Naga series that is related to Shiva, again an emotion. Then we have your mythology, again related to the Indian concepts. Then we have Chetan Bhagat, which is again about the youth life and college life, which is again something that Indians relate to. What other genres do you think will go great in the Indian market as a writer?
I think nowadays what has happened is fiction has gone really down. Non-fiction is doing really well nowadays. So if anyone wants to write a book at today's current scenario, non-fiction is the way to go. Fiction, mythology especially, has gone down because the thing is काफी oversaturation हो गया. A lot of people are writing it, so that's become a problem. Otherwise, non-fiction, I would say, that's the one mainstream. Abhi right now it's going on, but probably again it's a curve. So with publishing, what happens is it goes like fiction goes like up top, then it goes down again, and then the non-fiction starts up, then non-fiction goes down. So it's a trend. You know, they're like just like movies. With content, the problem is that we get bored very fast. There was a time we used to love a particular like TV shows like Sacred Games and everything. Now we don't even watch anything similar to that. I'm just giving an example to it. So it's very the content. So you have to be ahead of the curve. And I think that's where the data comes into the picture, which is in terms is companies like Netflix and everything, you know, what they're doing is why they are holding our attention is because they're using data as a way to capture what will probably a person will read, also watch immediately after this. So they're understanding the human nature, and data is the future. So with writing also we need to have and we need to understand the content curation, for instance, has to be very, very data focused now. Because kya next author also has to know ki what next to be written so that the audience is prepared for it. Abhi the author has zero idea, so he just writes whatever he wants to write. Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Jain sir, and welcome. Sir, in your book Prahlad, you have written a quote kind of thing, revenge, rage, righteousness. So can you relate these terms with your life till now?
Revenge. I'm not a revengeful person very much. I'm not someone who goes out to. So rage is one thing, as I said, hospitality is one of the. And righteousness to bhari hui hai mere andar. So yeah, these words don't really connect with me much, but yeah, I definitely connected with Prahlad. So that's why.
Sir, what thought process you put into to ensure that the readers would be able to relate and imagine the characters and try to relate it with the real story?
So you're saying how do I connect real characters from real?
From reality, actually.
From reality.
Yes, sir.
To my books. I think, see, at the end of the day, what matters is how relevant you are keeping the themes into places, and then how these characters are connected to these themes. So, for instance, Narsimha is all about freedom to choose your own religion. Kalki is all about, good versus evil and about morality of choices. Durga is about collective feminism. So, these are all stories. Sinbad is about entrepreneurship. So, these are all stories which are very relevant. And then somehow I connect their main figures with the overall theme that I've chosen. So, yeah.
Thank you, sir. Jain, sir. Sir, my question is, your new book, Krishna Mahavishnu Avatar, is coming out this November. Could you please share something?
How do you know?
Sir, from your recent post that you
Post
posted
ka
on
dekha? Post ka dekha?
Janmashtami. Sir, actually I went through the Twitter and I found that on Janmashtami you have announced about it.
Yes. So, do you want to learn more about it?
Yes, sir, I want to know more about it.
This is basically the last part of last part of the Mahabharata, the Mausala Parva. And what the basic question is, what happened after Mahabharata? So that's where, that's what the story of Krishna Vishnu Avatar is. What happened after Mahabharata? We know the story of Krishna, Lord Krishna before Mahabharata, what happened after it. So it talks about the submergence of the Dwarka, it talks about the fight between the Yadavas, it talks about the relationship between Krishna and Balrama as well as with Arjun. What happened to Arjun, for instance? You know, where did he go after Mahabharata? He saw so much of carnage. What happened? So these are the things and elements that I have put in the book.
Okay, thank you, sir.
So, can you share your journey of psychological and emotional throughout this Karna epic?
My journey as I went psycho. That's the most psychological thing I can say. I went full psycho. See, writing is somewhere where you have to start. Eventually, what you become is a. Have you guys seen Lord of the Rings? So this is Lord of the Rings. You've seen Golem. So that's every writer's journey. So it's like how we start being a Frodo and then eventually become Golem. So for those who don't get the reference, definitely watch Lord of the Rings. Yeah.
So this means you do a lot of research and reading before you publish
Yeah,
your books.
yeah, absolutely.
Jai Hind, sir. So my question is, after Amish Tripaঠি's Shiva trilogy, people are comparing your Kalki series with it and finding many similarities in the writing style. So how would you take it? Will it be a positive upfront for you, or will you try to raise the bars high?
You know, the funny part is I've not read his books. So I have been on panels with him, but I've not read his books. He's a great, fantastic writer himself. And obviously he's an inspiration, nonetheless, as someone who's a mythology writer myself. I don't think so. My writing is very similar to him because I think that, and that's what something people have told me is that I write better characters. So.
Thank you, sir.
Jain sir, and my question is, your Kalki series has gripped the audience in such a way that they are finding it difficult to stop in between. What was your favorite cliffhanger you would like to share with us?
मैं क्यों बताऊं? तो फायदा ही क्या हुआ पढ़ने का?
What's your favorite?
तो मैं तो नहीं बता
while
रहा.
you are writing?
मैं तो नहीं बता रहा. From my own books or from other?
No, from your books.
No, so why should I tell? You read it, and then you let you know.
Okay.
Jain sir. Sir, as I have read your Kalki book series, I have found that you have given a very detailed description about the characters of the Kalki and the other faces also. So my question from you is that what were your initial stages of research and sources of information while writing this book?
Kalki Puran was obviously one of them. And then, you know, there was Bhavishya Puran, definitely, this was another. There's, I read, it's been 6 years now, so, you know, I'm sorry if I don't remember all the sources that I went through. But yes, definitely, I talked to a lot of people. I talked to a lot of scholars who were reading it, so reading and researching and doing their thesis on this as well. But I would also say that Kalki is not entirely, you know, it's a lot of fiction as well. So a lot of fiction, a lot of fantasy. I always feel that I called Kalki as a fantasy book first and then a mythical book second. Because because the idea is that I took the basic core story of Kalki Avatar and I kind of wove it with the entire mythos of it, yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Why aren't we asking from the behind? Bichare, they must be, for adventures, okay.
Sir, can you please elaborate your struggle of starting the Hubhawks? Hope there are many students
So there's only one struggle when you're starting a business. Bank mein paise.
So that's
Salary
the main thing,
dena is still a task.
But sir, there are many other factors also, like finding investors and all.
No, finding investors is the easy part. Once you're doing a good job, na, wo mil jate hai. It's like finding, it's like finding industry easy. The difficult tough part is management, of course. The difficult tough part is financial management, financial planning, operations, definitely making sure the client is happy and the value creation of the client. So those are the few things that are very, very important. And obviously how fast you're scaling up the business as well. Because you have to be too fast, you can't be too fast also and too slow also. So you have to find the right balance also. And trying new things, taking more risk. These are the few struggles that I went through. But most struggle is पैसा बैंक में रखना. चले जाता है सब. बोल देना अच्छी तरह से बोलना. शर्मा क्यों रहा है?
Yes.
Good afternoon and Jain sir. I am Navya of class 10th H, and my question is, as Kalki is one of the most loved novel of yours, which is greatly inspired by mythology, so what was your approach in designing all those characters in order to make them so interesting and effective for the audience?
I make sure that every character has a goal, every character has a passion, and every character has a backstory where some tragedy has happened. These are three pillars of writing a good character. If you want to write a good character, the basic thing you need to do is to make sure that they have a goal and then they can't achieve that goal for some XYZ reason. And now, why they can't achieve that goal is because they have to grow as a person to achieve that goal. Right? So that's how I write a character, and that's how I wrote Kalki's characters as well.
So actually, you mentioned just now writing a character. Another challenge is writing the broad scheme of the character's journey is, as you said, you have to make a problem, you have to have them solve the problem. But the minute interactions with the character, what dialogue they'll say, how do you decide that? How does it feel right that, okay, X character is going to say Y in this situation?
That's a lot of it is helped is by music. So I listen to music when I'm writing. That's one thing that's a secret of my writing fast also. So I listen to fast music, slow music, emotional music, all kinds of music. Not the music that I was singing, by the way, but the music that captures me. So उससे क्या होता है, वो अपना आप एक वो rhythm में, एक अपना आप एक emotion में I become part of it, and then I'm able to write it. Without music, I don't think so I could have written any book out there.
It's wonderful.
Yeah.
Good afternoon, sir. My name is Medha of class 8D. My question for you is that when you were writing books, was there any moment when you felt like that I can't do this, this is a very hard job and I won't be able to publish this book and nobody will like it?
Even today.
And if this moment happened, how did you overcome it?
I am by doing it. So I say that I can't do it, then I do it. I think it's kind of like a catharsis, right? It's something like तुम्हें अच्छा लगता है जब तुम give up करते हो, तुम्हें अच्छा लगता है, अच्छा feeling आता है कि finally वो responsibility गई by giving up, but then you realize that responsibility is still there the next day. So now you have to do it. So I would say sleep over it, then wake up and do it.
Thank you, sir.
So there might be times you get writer's block, and also have you ever thought of switching to another genre apart from mythology?
Yeah, I would love to write science fiction. I would love to write दोनों science. बड़े खुश हो गए एकदम से. I would love to write science fiction and what else? Crime, thrillers. I would love to write a non-fiction. I don't know about what, but definitely something interesting. And drama. Drama is more of there's no book like, but yeah, drama, why not, yeah. So.
Sir, how do you deal with writer's block?
I don't deal with it. I fight with it.
So what would you suggest to those writers who are going through writer's block or who have run out of ideas?
Stop lazing around. Writer's block is another version of lazing. So I'm myself. So writers in general are very lazy. I myself is also very lazy. So a lot of times it happens. So writer's block at the end of the day is that for two reasons it doesn't happen. It happens. One reason being the fact is lack of research and lack of motivation. So if it's lack of research, research more. If it's lack of motivation, find the core of the story, the theme of your story, and then write it. So these are the two pillars of writer's block solution.
Thank you, sir.
Good afternoon and Jain sir. I am Kushal Chaturvedi of class 10th. My question is, Durga is a very famous novel of yours in the Devi series. So how did you design such an effective plot which is applicable in the contemporary world too?
I always wanted to, like, I got Durga's story because so a lot of my female readers, they were telling me that आप सिर्फ male gods पे लिखते हो, female gods पे तो no goddesses पे you are not writing. Why is that the case? Are you pro male and chauvinist? So I said that the idea was that I was always fascinated with these figures. That's why I wrote it. There was nothing to do with gender into the picture, but definitely that was the case once I wrote on Durga, because once I researched about Durga, what I realized was that what was interesting to me was that she was a goddess that was created by men, because Indra came, Varun came, Chandra came, all they came to create her to fight a demon that they couldn't destroy themselves. So that was very interesting. Like they had to create a woman to destroy, a demon. So that's where the idea of Durga came into the picture, and about how then the entire Navratri picture came. That what if there are not Durga? What if Durga's story not features only one Durga but 9 of them? And then what if Durga is a kind of like a representation of how collectively to fight a patriarchal society, you need to have a collective action rather than a singular action. So that was the basic idea towards writing Durga.
Okay, thanks sir.
Yes, sure.
I think, should we take how many questions more? How much time do we have? 2 more? Okay, sure.
So, so what genre would you like to tap into more and tinker about? And what do you think is the hardest genre to ideate about?
I would say crime. Because इतना ज़्यादा लिख चुका है ना कि मतलब one has to be very careful not to copy. So that's where you have to be very original.
Good afternoon and Jai Hind, sir.
Jai
This
Hind.
is Gaurav Raj Singh of class 10th I. And my question to you is that you have such a huge fan base all across India and abroad. So what was the best compliment that someone has gave to you?
Best compliment?
Yeah, sir.
I got into reading because of you. Yeah.
Okay.
I think if I'm able to inspire people to read, why not? I think that's the best part. That's the best part about being a writer. तुम पढ़ते हो?
Yes, sir.
Do you read?
Of course.
Science student reading.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, ma'am.
Great.
Okay. Well, thank you so much, sir.
I think we have one more question. I think we'll just address it and then, yeah.
Afternoon, Jain sir.
Yes.
My name is Yuvraj, and my question is, what is the fondest memory of yours at St. Stephen's, and how has it influenced your journey as a writer?
Fondest memory? Good question. I've never been asked this question. Because no one has asked me about my college days and everything. They've always been a black spot in my life. I remember one moment in my life where, so there was a competition because theatre, so I was very active in theatre. So around 18, 19 years old, I kind of gave up on writing because I was like, कि writing नहीं हो पाएगी, screenplay पे काम करता हूँ. Because as a writer, I was thinking that I can't earn out of it. Probably I'm not good at it also. So screenplay का best part ये था because it was theatre, so I could write, screenplay on the play and everything. And I remember there was a competition and I wrote it, and I presented it to the faculty and obviously to the other members of the society of the theatre society, and they told me that so I presented it and I hoped that probably I would get selected and accepted, and they told me that Kevin, sorry, we can't take it forward. So I said, why? I mean, is my writing bad? He's like, no, it's not bad. It's just that your writing is very populist. So it's very commercial. My writing is very commercial. So I say, but isn't that a good thing? Because people, I mean, you want your theatre to be filled up with people. So isn't that the case? So I remember that on multiple times my scripts have been rejected in my college. Which led me to more things that probably I'm not a good writer again, but kind of made me also realize that probably I'm missing some link or something. And then I realized that even with publishing, the thing was that I realized, because I had so much of failure, I started getting afraid of failure, that I realized that it's better to self-publish a book. And through that experience, I didn't send it to any publisher, because again, I thought, फिर से reject हो जाएगी. And I went into I self-published a book after I graduated from college, and hoping that it might sell, because अगर मैं किसी और को बेचता फिर से reject हो जाती. And surprisingly, that book did well, and that book is called Kalki actually, and it ended up being it ended up selling 200,000 copies. So what I'm trying to tell is, in short, is that people don't know anything. If they say that they know something, they don't. So just believe in your own voice. Just believe in what you want to achieve. Because if I would have listened at that time, I probably wouldn't have written Kalki.
That's absolutely wonderful, sir. Thank you so much for this amazing Q&A round. And now, sir, we request you to please leave behind a memoir of this visit to Sunbeam Bhagwanpur by signing our message card. It's being brought right now. Lovely session, lovely people, and lovely campus. Thank you, Sunbeam, for the best experience of my life. And thank you, sir, for this honor.
Thank you, sir.
Oh, no, sir, not just yet. As you've come to Sunbeam Bhagwanpur, there are many of you lifelong fans here who also want to have some of their books signed by you. And because we are on stage with you, we get to be the first.
I request the class 9 and 10 students to maintain silence, please.
Good afternoon and Jai Hind, everyone. Well, you all met Mr. Kevin Missal, the author. I had the privilege of spending some time with just Kevin Missal, the person. And in a wonderfully stimulating evening interaction with him, what I have decoded of the author whom you just now interacted with is something that in order to be a great writer, not just a popular writer, you have to have this inherent curiosity within you. Believe me, in the first 20 minutes of his interaction with her, sir, and asking him, like, doing a real KBC kind of a thing with him about the Sunbeam group, it was as if he was putting sunbeam under the microscope, and his curiosity was so refreshing. So how did you start? So where did you start? So where did your grandfather come from? So what prompted this? So how many institutions? I would love to meet Ms. Madhok. And that's when I realized that, first you have to be curious about everything around you. And not just for the heck of it, but genuinely curious. And I don't know, seriously, how many of these curious questions will result in some or the other quirky character? Because when this gentleman was posing questions, he was not only putting it all in his mental hard disk and compiling facts. With every fact came his own analysis and understanding of the dynamics of what led to what is Sunbeam today. Who are the people who populate Sunbeam? No, he had some kind of an analytical comment about everything, about the kind of vibrance he saw in Sunbeam, about the kind of team dynamics he saw in Sunbeam. So inherently, it's a very curious person who embarks on a personal expedition every time he interacts and is alive to the environment around him. I hear students asking him, what do you do? How do you prepare? Where do you research? The biggest thing is the ability to ask questions fearlessly. I think therein lies the soul of every inventor / creator / author, writer, whatever. You have to be genuinely interested. You have to pose questions, even at the cost of making people feel discomforted, but you still are on that personal quest. And it's sometime when you reflect and you collate all those, myriad in reflections and myriad stimuli that you have garnered in your bag, therein emerges the thread of a story. So maybe you will not understand if he's writing Durga, then does he turn the pages of mythology? But who fleshes out Durga? What imbues her with that very typical female force, which makes you feel that his characters are so real? Why are they real? Because he plucks out little nuances from day-to-day lives and weaves them into the character's persona. So Kevin, thank you for giving us life lessons on how to write well, how to ask the right questions, and how to learn and assimilate your own understanding of what makes us human. So students, whenever we are listening, whenever we are participating in these kind of interactions, do not take them at a surface value only. You're not going to you're not going to hear a great author tell you, this is how I write and this is the ABC. You won't tell a scientist, well, I go into the lab at 8 a.m. in the morning and I look at my microscope and say, okay, this is what I'm going to discover today. It comes organically. But are you prepared to take that fearless deep dive into the unknown realm of human behavior and human environment and then put the pieces of the jigsaw together? I am so indebted to this lady in the white blazer sitting next to Kiran. She is Tripti, for those of you who do not know it. Tripti, come and stand beside me, girl. You have to have your spot. So, ladies and gentlemen, I present to you a Sunbeam, 2018 batch of Sunbeam Sun City. And she has done us proud when she joins Kevin's company. That is when she gets back to Ashish sir and says that, you know what, I want to bring him to Sunbeam. And thus the entire journey. Can we have a huge round of applause for our very own Tripti? Keep shining, Tripti, always. Wonderful. You're nervous? Okay, fine. This is the right time to give you the mic.
No. I'm not ready for this, but yeah, Sunbeam has given me a lot, like hell lot. 11 years, a lot of things from like this to coming.
She was a boarder at Sun City.
Yeah. So I was in Bhagwanpur and then I shifted to Sun City. So a lot of mixed memories. But yeah, I can never stop boasting about Sunbeam. Honestly, I have had good parts, bad parts. But guys, please enjoy this. Teachers bolenge, wardens bolenge, but this is gonna stay forever. And you'll always cherish it like the best part ever. ऐसा लग रहा होगा कि she's saying because she's standing there. मैं भी वहाँ बैठती थी तो I also used to feel like कि अरे they have been told to say that. It's nothing so. It's nothing so. But yeah, I don't stop boasting about Sunbeam. I just love it. So yeah, I'm back here.
Thank you so much for being with us, Tripti. And look, as I say, this is the best way you can give back to your alma mater. This is all that your school wants from you. We don't want pages on Facebook. We do not want that many hits on Insta for any of our posts. We just want that whenever you come across something good, you think of Sunbeam and you could bring it back to us. Thank you so much, everybody. It's been wonderful interacting with Kevin. It's been wonderful knowing you. Kiran also, she tells me she's a keen debater. So I'm going to orchestrate something and get her back to Sunbeam, this time in the avatar of a debate coach for all our students. Thank you so much, everyone. Keep shining and keep growing, Sunbeams.
Thank you so much, ma'am, and thank you so much, Shifty, for the amazing speech.